The job market is so bad, I started following my dreams. And I'm starting off with jewelry making. So I've been wanting to take jewelry classes ever since I saw the work of Soft Goods Studio on Instagram. But in general, I've always been wanting like jewelry just because it's so fun to accessorize and really elevates your outfit. But my problem is that like I have small fingers, so a lot of commercially available stuff doesn't fit me. And then also I want my jewelry to be super customized. So that was my problem, and that's why I never bought it. Soft Goods Studio really appealed to me because of the cultural connection. I never thought about, like, jewelry is obviously a status symbol, but I never thought about it being, like, a wearable sculpture until I saw her work. She makes things like food, but also inscribes, like, people's names of their mother tongue into things, and it's, like, wearing the things that are most precious to you every day feels so special, and the only material that could really achieve that besides like clothing, which I already do, is like metal and like jewelry. So that's why I really wanted to like dive more into it. I previously did a lost wax casting class where you use wax and you carve it out to make your jewelry basically. After you finish your carving, you send it off to like the jewelry person, silversmith, and then they'll melt down the metal and then create a mold for you and send you back your finished product. It was a really fun class, and it was like really short, but I kind of got addicted to the feeling of like making and then having my own like fully formed rings that like you literally can't find anywhere else because I made it. So I decided to take a class, and here's how it went. So for the next part of my jewelry adventure, I bought silver clay, which is clay that you can like basically mold, and then when you fire it, it becomes silver, like 99 whatever. So I'm gonna practice first using polymer clay that I got from Moot, and I'm just gonna see how, because I'm concerned if I can mold it properly because I don't have the tools for it, but hopefully I'll be able to, because silver clay dries out really easily and it's also really expensive, so you don't want to waste any. So I'm just gonna plot my designs beforehand and try to figure out what I can make with my estimate. Silver clay also shrinks too, so I have to account for that. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, but they recommend like sizing your ring like 2 sizes up than your original, and I'm trying to like have chunkier rings. I bought like 20 grams for like $60, which is kind of expensive, but if I make at least 2 rings, I feel like the cost evens out. These are the things I made in polymer clay. That is a flower charm, and this is a ring that I want to make or like plan to. This is a star with a little hole in it to be a pendant, and this is a tangerine, and then a tangerine slice. Isn't that amazing? But this is all like tentative because I'm not sure what I'll actually be able to make and if the clay will respond like I want it to. These are the ones that I'm not really sure about. I just had like some ideas. This is a bunny. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what actually happens. And this is an orchid. I still want to make an orchid jewelry piece, but we haven't had the chance. And this is a Chinese character. And finally, the clay has been delivered. It's go time. So I set up all my materials to use the clay, and of course you have to read the directions, unfortunately. I was reading that for a long time actually. Here I'm kneading the clay because apparently you kind of want to knead it to get it to the way you want it. And then I'm just forming it around my ring mold. This is 2 sizes larger than my actual ring size because it will shrink like I said before. The way I got this was by taking the ring stick in class, putting a piece of paper around it, and then taking it home and using that as my measurement. And I'm just making the first flower charm. After I made my first ring, I kind of got a sense of what using the clay was like, so this was a bit easier, but it was still hard. And this is a ring that I made, and I just stopped recording for all my other crafts because they were taking a really long time. And this is the aftermath. So these are all of my things. I was able to make 3 rings, an ear cuff, and 3 charms. A heart kind of charm, my flower charm, and then a zhong, which is like a Chinese dumpling. It's not really a dumpling, but that's just what they call it. But it's not a dumpling. It's like a tamale. And unfortunately, when I was taking this off my mold, it cracked. So I'll just put it together with solder when I'm firing it. And I packed away my babies to take to the studio. So we are back to working at home again for this pendant I wanted to make. I needed to draft my design at home first, and I decided to use like Chinese typography. So I looked up inspiration on Pinterest and kind of was like messing around with it, because if I need to cut it out, it has to be connected to the pendant so it doesn't fall out. So I was being very strategic with how I was cutting out my shapes, and this is like my final design. It's part of my Chinese name, and there's a flower. Yep. So let's recap. That class basically took up my whole month and it was super fun. I think compared to other activities I've done, I found myself getting more naturally into it just because like I would search it on YouTube and then find out different methods that people were using to make things. And I didn't realize how much effort it actually went into jewelry making. Like, because we see so many professional products, we kind of expect it to come as is. But the reality is, as with everything, is that like a person touched it, labor went into it, and that's how it came to be. I kind of really like jewelry and the aspect of like making it because it feels very like profitable. Like the base material of like actual silver or like other metals like copper isn't very expensive compared to like, like if you buy a sterling silver ring that's not even gold, it'll be like $100 if it's like by a specific jeweler. But if you buy the metal, depending on like what you want, it could be like 60 or something, which is still expensive, but like the rest of the money is like your physical labor going into it. So I just thought that was interesting, and I see why like people make a business out of it, but it definitely like shows you how like a job is really a commitment, you know. Like you have to really love it to do it. So here's a price breakdown. Was it worth it? I think it was worth it for me personally, especially if you're just getting into jewelry and you don't have any. I think it could be a cheaper option than buying retail or even secondhand for really customized pieces. Like for me, all of my jewelry has like, not all of it, but most of it has like aspects of like, Chinese identity, Asian identity. So that's what I was really looking for, and that's not really commercially available to me. So I wanted to make it. And yeah, it was super fun. I'm wearing these all the time, so it's worth it for me. I think secondhand is definitely an option. Like if you buy secondhand on eBay or something, it'll probably be similar price point wise, honestly. But I think it's still worth it. And after doing it, I realized that there's a really big difference between, you know, beginner made and then professionally made jewelry. Like my favorite part of looking at jewelry now is like thinking about how they could have formed it, what methods they used, and why the price point is what it is. Understanding that price really makes me appreciate the labor that went into it. I would definitely love to do more, but I think for now I'm gonna focus on like other creative ventures. I think a problem I have when I take classes is that I want to finish everything in that limited time frame, and I feel like it isn't worth it if I'm not using up all of my materials. And I think that's like obvious, but it's kind of like a headspace that you could only be in occasionally. Realistically, I do have to finish within that time frame because I won't have access to that studio anymore. So that is a downside because I'm not getting as much time to like creatively think or like ponder about the things I want to make. But I think it is definitely like getting the creative juices flowing and actually making stuff because, you know, having a time frame really forces you to do it. But if I had more money, I definitely would take another class. Viewer, if you want to give me money like a medieval peasant, or like a medieval artist did in the past where they were sponsored by kings, hit me up. Like, that's my ideal situation. So ideally, if I was being paid to do it, I definitely would. But yeah, if you're also thinking about taking jewelry making classes too, I highly recommend it. It's super fun, and it's just like a way to work with different materials. Like, I'm scared of fire, I'm scared of like blades, but this made it very accessible. And actually, like, by the end of, like, literally by week 2, I was chilling. I was just like, turn on the fire, there's a fire, use a blade. So it's like kind of pushing me to do things I didn't think I could do, which is cool. I did hurt myself 2 times because I wasn't that careful. Like, I stabbed myself with a file, and it was on the same finger too. It was on this one. And then right now there's a blister from me hammering my finger. So there are, like, you should be careful. It is a, like, OSHA. Actually, making jewelry did make me think about like human beings and how we're like soft bodies. Like, that's why she called it soft goods. But it's like, I think compared to other art that I've done, this is like the hardest material. So it's really fun to kind of think and ponder about your relation as a human being to creation and the transformation of material. In terms of my jewelry and a walkthrough of it, I'll probably have another video up that goes in depth into what I made and why. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you liked it.